It was a month before her first birthday, and she was born in December, so around Thanksgiving time, she was crawling across the floor, and I kept calling her, and she wasn't turning around. And their dad came home, and I said, I don't think she can hear. And he's like, no, she can. And he took some pots and pans, and he went into the study and locked the door, and he started pounding on the pots and pans, and I heard him fall to the ground to his knees and just start crying and saying, oh my God, she can't hear.
The audiologist there looked me right in the face and she said, your girls will never hear and your girls will never speak. And my husband and I walked out of there devastated. We were sobbing and it was just terrible. It was a terrible time in our lives.
When you think that your child is going to be perfectly healthy and then it turns out he or she isn't, then it's almost like windows and opportunities sort of close. We felt that Alex was not going to get the same amount of opportunities going forward in his life, and we were wondering what that would mean for his future.
We had a lot of emotions that we had to deal with first before we could start to think about what would be best for our son.
A diagnosis of profound hearing loss is devastating to parents. Making the decision to give your hearing-impaired child a chance at the ability to speak is your choice.
When we started doing our extensive research, what's the best route to go, we kept seeing the same words over and over, Moog curriculum.
Moog curriculum. That, these parents were driving hours to schools, and people were even uprooting their families and moving to cities that had this.
When we found out that Buffalo Hearing and Speech is one of the 6 Moog curriculum schools in all of the nation, and they're in our backyard practically, it was a no-brainer. We feel beyond blessed that, something that was renowned as one of the best opportunities for the oral deaf education program and society is right here in Buffalo.
It was either give him the opportunity to be able to communicate with 99% of the population, or have him go the ASL route. At this stage of the game, it's really important to make that decision to try for it very early on and to put your all into it. So we said that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to give him every single opportunity that we can and keep those doors as wide open as possible.
This is more important than college, really, when you get down to it. He needs a foundation for language.
For more than 10 years, the Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center has offered the Oral Deaf Education Program, renowned for its success throughout the United States. Parents see almost immediate results from the Oral Deaf Education Program. For those struggling to break through communication barriers with their children, the program is truly life-changing.
He just blossomed. His vocabulary, his learning, his receptive and expressive language, it was huge, and family members, neighbors, friends, everyone really noticed how he was just becoming more social, coming out of his shell, able to express himself and understand the other kids in conversations better. His vocabulary grew exponentially. So when we met with our school district in the middle of August, right as the program was ending last year, and they said, are you ready to send him to kindergarten? And I said, are you ready to send him back to Buffalo? Because that's where we knew. Excuse me. Now I can say he's probably going to be one of the stronger kindergartners this fall because of what they have done here for him. It is amazing.
Declan mainstreamed at kindergarten. Leaving here, he was in here for 3 years. He was so well prepared, walked out of here talking, and he's always maintained, if not at par, ahead. He's reading at a 9th grade level, he's in 6th grade. And that is a testament to what you would get here because it's non-stop education.
Education that produces results. Children grow to see their hearing impairment as basically a non-issue. When you see these children, it's hard to imagine them not being able to speak. It's just as difficult for them to imagine what it would be like not to hear.
We'd probably be deaf kids, learning how to sign signing all the time, and our parents, just signing to us, and we really never really be able to, I bet you we'd never talk.
Going to school, has made it not to be a roadblock. So with the school, it makes it much easier to make deafness. It just just goes away. Not scientifically, but in a mental sense.
If we just sign languaged and like we wouldn't be like out there in the world and all that.
Hearing loss isn't the end of the world, but it was the end of my world. Because of Buffalo Hearing and Speech, everything was made doable. They gave us hope. They gave us tools. They gave me my family, because without them, I wouldn't have the family I have today.
My advice for other individuals who are other families that have heard the same diagnosis that we had, that your child has significant hearing loss or hearing loss at all, is to just reach out and learn a little bit about Buffalo Hearing and Speech. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and feel incredibly lucky, like we are, that something like this is here in Buffalo.
Oral deaf education taught at the Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center gives children a critical skill that will allow them to become all they can be.
Instead of hanging back and waiting for the child next to him to answer the question or to watch what they're doing to figure out what they're supposed to do, he can be the leader now, and he will be.